Hi guys, so today I just want to point out before I start, don't think I'm weird. I know I have a hat and gloves on. I'm just saying that it's cold. The heating's on but it's making no difference. I am still freezing cold, I have been all day. And I'm quite bad with circulation in my hands. My hands are always cold, and especially when it's this cold and it's been snowing and everything, they start to turn blue. So anyway, today I wanted to start this channel off great and share some things about me with you guys. So this is 20 things about me. So hopefully as well as me sharing these things with you, you can share things with me below in the comments. So it's our journey, not just mine, on this channel. So you get to know about my life, and hopefully I get to know about you and each individual, so I get to know you each a lot better. Anyway, let's start. Number one is my middle name. Now my middle name is Paige, and there's quite a funny story of how my parents came up with this name. Basically, when my mum was pregnant with me, she was looking through a baby name book and looking through the ones that she liked. And she came across my name, Ebony, and she turned to my dad and said, "What about Ebony?" And my dad said, "Yeah, Ebony Page." So that's sort of how it came. There was no sort of decision, it was just a spur of the moment thing. But I quite like it actually. And yeah. So number two is, now I'm quite tall for my age. I'm 14 years old and I'm round about, I think last time I measured myself I was 5'10". So I'm quite tall for my age. Yeah, all of my friends say that they seem like midgets against me, which I wouldn't say is a bad thing, but it's not a great thing, because being tall, there are some disadvantages, like hitting your head on doors or going through small places or things like that. But there are some advantages, like reaching on high shelves. So it can have its advantages and disadvantages. Number three, as well as being tall for my age, I'm quite skinny as well. Now, believe it or not, my 24-year-old brother was here the other day, and he came in and he measured him, like he weighed himself, and he turned out as 9 stone 7. I weighed myself, I was also 9 stone 7, which was quite funny, saying he's 24 and I'm 14, so he's 10 years older than me, and I found out that he was the same weight as me. But then he weighed himself again after walking from in here to the front room and back again. He weighed himself again, and it said that he'd lost £3 just by walking that short distance. So he came up as 9 stone 4. I weighed myself again after walking the same distance. I was still 9 stone 7. So we had this massive argument about that I turned out as £3 heavier than him, even though he's older than me. But to me that's still quite skinny, because I'm very, very skinny. Like, when I was younger, I still can now actually, I can bring my hand around my wrist and overlap it a tiny bit. But believe it or not, a couple of years ago I was that skinny, I weighed only 4 stone. It wasn't until that I was put on some medication for migraines that I suffer with. A side effect of that is appetite. And that isn't a bad thing for me, because I love food, but I'm a very fussy eater anyway. So, which means I don't put on a lot of weight, but I've grown to get used to it. And it has its benefits, like fitting small stuff. But I wouldn't mind a bit more weight. I'm quite weak, and I thought a bit more weight would help with that. But anyway, number 4 is, if you haven't told already, is that even a sentence? I don't know. But I know my friends know this about me. I am very sarcastic. Now my mum came up with this one. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just sarcastic. I think the only way to give an example is if someone tells me something that I don't care about at all but I seem interested in, or they point out something really obvious, which I think most people do this. I'm sort of say like, well, no, in a really sarcastic way. That may sound really weird or mean or something, but I just am, and that's how I am. So if you get to know me, just get used to me being sarcastic. I'm not being mean. If I am sarcastic to any of you guys in the future, just know that I can be quite sarcastic. Number 5 is that music is my life. Now, I won't go into much detail about this. I might do this in a separate video if you want me to, called The Music Story. If you want me to, either like or leave a comment. But basically, I've grown up with music. My dad's quite musical, he listens to a lot of music. Our family, like, some of my brothers and sisters are quite musical. I've played or still play quite a lot of instruments. Again, I'll explain more in a future video if you want me to. But basically, if I didn't have music in my life, I don't know where I'd be or what I'd be doing, because most of my life is taken up by music. Number 6 is a bit of a weird one that's happened recently, is I've become a pescatarian. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's like a vegetarian. I don't eat meat, like beef or chicken or lamb or anything like that, but I do still eat fish. Now, as well as me still being a fussy eater, this has just made it worse for my family to buy food for me or cook food for me, because they don't know what to buy me, because I'm still a fussy eater, so they have no idea what to get me, which is quite funny. But I am trying new foods. I am trying new foods and still getting used to the whole pescatarian thing. So if anyone out there is a pescatarian or a vegetarian and has any advice on how to live this lifestyle, then please leave a comment and help me or message me in any way. Okay, so the next one is number 7. I am the youngest of 8. Now, 8 is including me, so I've got 4 brothers and 3 sisters. This is where it gets confusing though, because I've got a brother and a sister and me, which is from both my mum and my dad. I've got a brother and 2 sisters on my dad's side, so they're just my half brother and sisters. And then I've got 2 brothers on my mum's side who were my half brothers until my dad adopted them, but this was before I was born anyway. My dad adopted them, so they still are technically my brothers, only one changed his name back. It's quite confusing. Our family is really confusing, but I love them all equally, even though not many of them talk to me. I've only really got 1 brother and 1 sister who actually talk properly and like a brotherly sisterly way. The others just sort of ignore me, but I still love them anyway, even though they don't talk to me. The next one, linking to that, is as well as having many brothers and sisters, I also have way too many nieces and nephews. Now, if I tried to count them all or name them all, I would probably lose count or miss one out. But again, I love them all. But the bad thing is, which is really weird and I hate, is that 2 of them are older than me. Now, one of them is the worst out of the 2 because it's 1 niece and 1 nephew. The nephew is turning 18 this year. I hate that. He's turning 18 this year, so he's 3 years older than me. And I remember when we were little, we used to get on a lot, but now he's older and we barely see each other or speak to each other anymore. It's got more awkward when we see each other, even though I'm his aunt. And we both hate how I'm younger than him, yet I'm his auntie. I remember his 13th birthday, I sent him a birthday card saying, happy birthday from your auntie Ebony. P.S. I know you hate me being your auntie, I do too. But I still love him anyway. And then the niece is a bit more manageable because she's only a couple of months older than me. So that's more manageable, even though I still don't talk to her as much. Number 9 is that I am part of St John Ambulance. Now, if you don't know what that is, it's a first aid organisation that basically helps people learn first aid or learn how to cope with things like CPR, putting on a bandage. And I started this because my sister and brother were in it, but my brother quit. My sister's still there. And I'm in cadets. It goes badgers, cadets, and then adults. I'm in cadets at the moment. And I've met some of my best friends at St John Ambulance. And also it's a great useful skill to have, especially in the career that I want to go down. Ever since I started St John Ambulance, my dream job is to be a paramedic. It's more like the skills that they teach you, if you don't want to go down that route anyway, it's still a great skill to have. Like things like knowing how to put on a bandage, or how to do CPR, or how to do the Heineck manoeuvre, which I know isn't called that anymore, but I cannot for the life of me think what it is. Simple things like that. You don't know how useful they'll be until you come to a moment that you need them. Like, I haven't yet, but I've been on duties, such as like a festival fair thing, and just seeing people's faces when you, what's the word, when you treat them, it just makes you so happy. But yeah, the next one is, as you can tell already, I'm quite a chatterbox. I never shut up. I ramble on when I'm nervous, if you can't tell, and if you get to know me, you will know that I never shut up. And if I don't, then slap me. Just please do, because I never know when to shut up. I really don't. Number 11, we're over halfway, is that my eyes are a really weird colour. Now, when I was little, they were quite really blue. I don't know whether you can see. Yeah, they look like quite greeny blue on the camera, but it's like they're more of a mixture of brown, blue, green, hazelnut, and it's just a mixture. It's basically a rainbow in my eyes, and I have no idea what colour they are, but I love them anyway. They're unique, like everyone's. Number 12 is that my favourite childhood TV show that I used to watch when I was little was Winnie the Pooh. Now, I know this is also a film, but Winnie the Pooh I grew up with. I know this sounds quite weird, but I have most of the Winnie the Pooh teddies. I got a new one today. I got Tigger today. And Winnie the Pooh is just one of them characters that I've grown up to love, and I've always loved. It's such a great show, and I just wish I could go back to when I was little, so it doesn't seem as weird if I watch it now than I did then, because then I had an excuse. I'd say, look, while I'm little, I need to make up the time that I have with Winnie the Pooh. Sorry, Winnie the Pooh is the best thing ever. Let's just say that. Number 13 is that I am a hoarder of old books. Now, I love old things, whether it's old magazines, old movies, but especially old books. I think that my bookcase in my bedroom is completely full of old books. No, it's not in my bedroom, it's in the front room. But I swear, like 3 or 4 out of the 6 shelves is full of old books. And what I've done as well, this is how bad I am, I've actually searched up on Google, if it doesn't say in the actual book itself, what date it was written, and then put my books into order from oldest to latest. I think the oldest one I've got is probably Oliver Twist, which is from about 1800s, but I can't remember the exact date. And I've got things like Heidi, Treasure Island, Gulliver's Travels, all the old books, and I just love the smell of old books. I know that sounds weird, but people love the smell of different things. I personally love the smell of old books. I just love it. Even if I don't buy an old book, I normally just go in just to get the smell because I just love it so much. And you can get them quite cheap as well. I think the oldest book that I got, or one of my old books I've got, I only got for about 50p, and I love it. I've got all the most of the Charles Dickens ones and things like that. Anyway, number 14 are my favourite animals. Now I couldn't decide between one, but I have three. I have a llama, a goat and an owl. Now they may sound really weird to have as a favourite animal, but just hear me out. Llamas spit at people that they hate. I know that's alpacas as well, but llamas I'm sure they do as well. And I just wish I could have a pet llama so they could hate the people that I hate and then spit on them. I know that sounds horrible, but it's true. And then there's goats. If you haven't watched any goat compilations, you have to. They're hilarious, especially their little noises that they make, and they're just so cute. And owls, just who doesn't love an owl? Owls are just so cute, and how they like move their head all the way around 360 degrees, and just everything about them, it's so cute. Unless they peck your fingers off, then it's not that nice. Number 15, there's 5 more to go, is, as I said earlier about the Winnie the Pooh teddies, I am again a hoarder of old teddies as well as old books. Not old teddies, just teddies. I think last time I counted, was about 30 to 40 teddies. I've got the 7 Dwarfs, I've got the Winnie the Pooh characters, I've got 101 Dalmatians, not all of them, I've only got 3 of them because they're the only ones that they do. I have a Stife Bear, which is a very, very, very rare and collectible bear, which I got for, I think it was my birthday last year. And I've got all these teddies that I just love, and I can't get rid of any of them. They've just all got so many memories, and I just love them. I don't care if I don't put them on my bed, if they're just in my windowsill. I can't get rid of them at all. I think I'm probably still going to have them when I'm like in my 80s, so whoever's with me then, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to put up with a lot of teddies over the years. Number 16 is that my favourite colour is blue. Blue is one of my favourite colours in the world. I know it's very stereotypical that girls should like pink, boys should like blue, but I used to like pink, but I don't anymore. It seems sickly. I don't mind it if it's a very, very light pink, but I love blue. It's like my laptop is blue, my laptop case is blue. I've got just quite a lot of blue stuff. Most of my shoes are blue. I just love blue. I don't care what shade it is, but mainly I do like turquoise and light blue, but if it's dark blue then I don't mind. But yeah, that is my favourite colour. Number 17 is that I enjoy cooking and baking. Now I know it's a very girly thing to say, but it makes me happy. Like, I always make pancakes, and before I was a pescatarian, I always used to make curries on a Saturday night and just bake and have fun and make cakes or biscuits. I remember when I was little, I wouldn't do anything else but bake biscuits. I had these little animal cutouts that I used, and I used to bake little sugar coated biscuits, and I just love it. I think I'm the only one out of me, my brother and my sister, one of my brothers and one of my sisters, who bake that much, because I know my sister mentioned, I think it was last week, that was her first time making a pancake, but I've been making them since I was about 5, so I've sort of perfected it, even though I can't flip it in a frying pan yet, which really annoys me. Anyway, let's get on before I ramble some more. Number 18, as well as enjoying cooking, I enjoy eating, especially cake and cookies. Cake and cookies are the best things ever. Who doesn't like a bit of cake? Especially my dad makes the best chocolate fudge cake in the world. It's so, I know everyone hates this word, but it's so moist and gooey and it's just perfect, especially when you break it apart, and it's just so nice. It's the best thing ever. And Victoria sponge with the little buttercream. I could have a bowl of buttercream every single day of my life, nothing else, just buttercream, even though it probably would get sickly. Number 19, not the last one, but the next to last, are my favourite YouTubers. Now these include people like Jacksepticeye, Zoella, Pointless Blog, Thatcher Joe, Casper Lee, Ollie White, Velvet Ghost, all of them people. And I wouldn't say they're famous because not many of them like being called that, but I know that they are quite well known, and I think it's because none of them exactly like calling their subscribers numbers or anything. They see you guys as people, not just figures or numbers or anything. They care what you think. They care about your views, not your views on videos, but your views in like your opinions and just things like that. And they care about you, or all of us, in a way that it's not just like they're talking to you on a screen. It's like they're talking to you in person, like I am with you now. So yeah. And finally, the last one is my birthday is the 14th of April 2011, so I mentioned at the beginning I was 14, which adds up right, I should say. So yeah, my birthday is the 30th of April 2001, which is I said 2014, didn't I, at the first? Yeah, anyway, it's 2001, not 2014, otherwise I'd be 2 and I wouldn't be doing this. So yeah, it's the exact end of April. That's it for the end. Yeah. That is 20 things about me. So if you guys want to tell me anything about you or anything like that, any opinions or any ideas on videos, any questions, anything at all, advice, please leave a comment below. And thank you guys for joining me on this next step of our journey, not just mine. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.